So, dear student, I'm Dr. Syed Musharraf Hussain, Professor of Orthopedics, Rajiv Gandhi Medical College. I think you, the students of 5th year, probably July 2020 will be appear in exam. So, from that point of basis, we are taking class, clinical class. So, today's clinical orthopedics clinical class, I will take the children fracture. I will take the children fracture. So you know the children fracture is a common fracture in the orthopedics arena. So in your daily practice or in the operation OPD, you will see many of the children come with a fracture, some sort of fracture in the fracture or any trauma in the soft tissue which resemble to fracture, may or may not be fracture. So you should know about everything about the children fracture and children soft tissue injury. So let us the introduction. First of all, usually the children fracture is the epiphyseal injury is the most common injury in the orthopedics and traumatology. The prognosis is good in case of any children fracture, even without any treatment. But even in a significant angulation, still then the prognosis will be better than the adult. And আরেকটা জিনিস দেখতে হবে, usually the children fracture are incomplete fracture. So there are two types of fracture. One is incomplete fracture and one is complete fracture. So children usually incomplete fracture, but there may be complete fracture because incomplete is common because children has got periosteum, thick periosteum. So remember that the epiphyseal injury is common and incomplete fracture is common. Prognosis is good even in angulation at the fracture site. So if you look for the fracture pattern, incomplete fracture, always you may ask in the exam, what are the incomplete fracture in case of children? So remember it, there are 4 types of incomplete fracture. One is physeal injury, that is also a fracture in case of children. Number 2, buccal fracture or thorax fracture. Number 3, plastic deformation. And number 4, green stick fracture. Number 4, green stick fracture. These 4 fracture pattern you should remember. You should remember in your mind that whenever you ask any question, question in the exam, what are the children fracture? First of all, you should say the physeal injury, buccal or thorax fracture, plastic deformation, and green stick fracture. If you go for then you can say there are also complete fracture, so and so, supracondylar and other fracture. So these 4 things you should remember. So regarding the physeal injury means physis means growth plate. Among children has got growth plate. Usually in adult male growth plate fusion 18 years, growth plate complete, 18 female 18 years, male 21 years. So the physeal injury is most important. Whenever any trauma in and around the joint, first you have to look for whether any physeal injury or not. Because why it is important? It is important because if the physeal injury is not properly treated, the growth will be arrested on their side and ultimately patient developed deformity. Patient developed deformity. So facial injury, you have to find search whether there is any facial injury or not. So there are many types of facial injury. We don't want to details all of this: type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4, and type 5. So facial injury is important. You have to look for facial injury and you should treat it facial injury properly. Otherwise, it will end up with deformity in later life. Later life. It needs accurate reduction and proper fixation. Accurate reduction and proper fixation. If you confident enough, you can do it. Otherwise, you can refer this patient to specialized area where the facility is available. Okay, so facial injury, it is called Salter Harris type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4, and type 5. You see, the type 1 just compression through the physis. Type 2 physis plus metaphysis. And type 3 physis plus epiphysis. Type 4 both physis and metaphysis. And type 5 crushing of the entire physis. So these are the 5 types, and each of the type has got own merits and demerits. So number 2 most common is the torus fracture. Torus fracture occurs in the metaphyseal region of the distal radius. Commonly occurs in the metaphyseal region of the distal radius, usually fall on an outstretched hand, and it is a compression injury and it is stable. Always you should differentiate it whether it is complete, whether it is green stick, or whether it involves the growth plate. You must differentiate it always, because torus sometimes it does not need any treatment, just immobilization is enough. But if it is not torus and if it is growth plate injury, then you have to treat very carefully. So you see the distal end of the radius. If you look, so this is normal bone. If you look the cortex from distal to proximal, there is no irregularity. There is no irregularity. But if you carefully look in the other hand, there is a slight elevation. There is a slight elevation at the distal end of the radius. This elevation is called fracture, and this fracture is called torus fracture. This is incomplete fracture. So if you find any patient having history of fall and pain and swelling in the distal end of the forearm, if you do an X-ray, if you find this type of elevation in the distal end of the radius, it is one type of incomplete fracture and it needs treatment, immobilization, and so on. So very careful. This is torus fracture. Remember it. This is torus fracture. Okay. So number 3 is the most common incomplete fracture in case of children. It is called plastic deformation. Here the bone is not break, but it will bend, as because children bone are relatively plastic in nature. So this non-reversible, sometimes it is non-reversible. After elastic limit is suppressed, when the elastic limit is over, in that case, this is non-reversible. And if it is so, then it will develop permanent deformity because it do not remodel well. It commonly occurs in the forearm bone and fibula. So during your manipulation, you should try to reverse the deformity as much as possible, so that it will remodel in course of time. So this is common in the forearm and fibula bone. So next common is most common fracture is green stick fracture, because the children bone is like as the bamboo stick. If you break the bamboo stick, one end will be broken, but uh, another end will not be broken. Same as the bamboo stick. In case of children bone, they are elastic in nature. You can, if you want to break it, the one cortex and one side of the bone will be broken, but another side will not be broken. So fracture on the tension side and compression side remain intact. This is a green stick fracture. Green stick fracture. One cortex is broke, another cortex is remain intact. So you see, this is the dorsal surface. Here is the X-ray of distal end of the radius is incomplete green stick fracture. You see the dorsal end, dorsal surface. This is dorsal surface. This is ventral surface. Dorsal surface remain intact, and the ventral surface is broken, disrupted. So this is, and there is angulation in the anterior or ventral surface angulation. So this is a green stick fracture. It needs treatment. What is the treatment in that case? This angulation is not acceptable because it is more angulation. So during your manipulation, you correct the angulation, and during your correction, if the fracture is complete, that is desirable. That is desirable, not only acceptable, would desire sometimes to break incomplete fracture to complete fracture, because incomplete fracture is still then the cortex is intact posteriorly, so there will be no chance of displacement. So rather it will have nice union without any further deformity. So in case of green stick fracture, if there is any angulation, you try to correct angulation even by broken the bone to complete the fracture. Okay. So how can you evaluate this children fracture? If you come with a patient having a history of fall and trauma to the for any upper limb or lower limb, first of all, you have to go for, after evaluation, you should do an X-ray. Always remember, X-ray should be in two views. One is anterior posterior view and one is lateral view. There are so many rule of two. One is X-ray, anterior posterior and lateral view. Another two, it should involve the both joint, upper and lower joint. Sometimes sometimes you need to do an X-ray of the normal side to compare the injured side, whether there is any similarity or not. So sometimes rule of two means two X-ray, two view, two joint, two limb, sometimes two occasion. First, you do an X-ray. There is nothing. After 7 days, you can get a fracture line. So after two occasion, you may. Sometimes you should search for another injury. So two injury. So always rule of two means two X-ray, two joint should be included, two limb should be X-ray. Sometimes two injury. You can search for another injury. So this X-ray you can give. In this X-ray, you see this is an epi view and this is a lateral view in a same limb. In epi view, there is no irregularity in the cortex. It seems to be normal. But when you go for lateral X-ray, you see there is oblique fracture in the shaft of the tibia. So the two view must be there, must be done two view. One view, if you get in one view you should not conclude, exclude the fracture until and unless you will get the lateral view. So two view is most important. Okay. So radiological evaluation, two view must be. You should take two view and you should include two joint. So what are the fracture treatment in general in case of children? Children, you know the children age is important. Younger age, healing faster. Mechanism of injury, it depends on mechanism of injury. It depends on fracture location. It depends on initial displacement. It depends on whether it is complete open fracture or closed fracture. So these are the things you should consider before treatment. And growing bone remodel more rapidly, you know, and so the early younger age remodeling capacity more, and you can accept more deformity, more angulation, less immobilization time. Children has less immobilization time, and if the children develop stiffness, that stiffness will recover very soon in case of children. So these are the plus point of a fracture in case of children. Other treatment principle is, when possible, you should restore the length, alignment, and rotation. This is important. Any displaced fracture, there is three things will be happen. One is length disturbance, one is alignment disturbance, and n is rotation. So we should try to minimize the length, alignment, and rotation. Maintain residual angulation as much as possible using close reduction technique. And after reduction, you should mold the plaster correctly to minimize the angulation. If there is any intra-articular fracture which is not remodeled, it needs anatomical reduction. Remember it. When you diagnose it, whether the fracture is involved the joint or not. If it is involved the joint, it needs anatomical reduction. Even sometimes it needs open reduction. So intra-articular fracture needs operative treatment most of the times. Majority of the pediatric fracture treatment is usually done by closed method, with the exception is open fracture, intra-articular fracture, and multi-trauma patient. And attempt to restore alignment. Do not always rely on remodeling. Remember it. আগের স্লাইডে বলছিলাম যে রিমডেলিং হয় বাচ্চাদের বেশি, but always remodeling, and you should depend on remodeling, not like that. So try to restore alignment as much as possible, so that minimum alignment will remodel with correct by remodel. So, and regarding the physeal injury, gentle reduction is mandatory, because if any physeal injury, or if you try to reduce repeated times, it will end up with further injury to the physis and ultimately corridor. So gentle 1 or 2 attempts is enough. If it is not possible, then you can send the patient to specialized center where there is facilities available. Another important is well-molded 3-point fixation plaster. So plaster, after close reduction, it needs immobilization. Immobilization by plaster. So plaster method is 3-point fixation plaster is important. During your plaster technique, always remember the post-reduction swelling, because if you place the plaster too tight, day after reduction, patient will develop compartment syndrome due to swelling. So during plastering, you should remember it. Where there is chance of swelling, you can split the plaster, or you can apply back slab, not full plaster. If fracture is unstable, repeat radiograph at weekly interval to maintain maintenance of acceptable position until early bone healing. So In case of unstable fracture, the repeated follow-up, every weekly follow-up, during your follow-up, do an X-ray and see whether the alignment is maintained or not. If it is not maintained, then re-reduction is required. So, in case of unstable fracture, repeated follow-up is required. So, regarding